This podcast is brought to you by the Podtower, hosted by the Watchtower database. Visit youtube.com/thepodtower for informative, hilarious DC animation-themed podcasts and live streams every week. And check out the Watchtower database for DCAU video essays, timelines, fan theories, and more. And please, enjoy the show. Hello. Oh, shit. I think it's in the fridge somewhere.
It's in the fridge somewhere.
You can have this iced tea.
Oh, I'll have regular tea. It's like 9 a.m.
It is 9 a.m. We shouldn't be drinking beer at this time anyway. Oh, adjusting them. I see. We're just adjusting the microphone. You rookie microphone. I'm sitting here holding the microphone. My back hurts from yesterday recording. Because I was bent over a table. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right, cool. Welcome back to Jump on the Bat-Wagon.
And I'm Brian.
What do I do now? I'm James. I'm here to show someone the entire DC animated universe from start to finish for the very first time in the controversial... God, get the airdate order.
Shouldn't that be uncontroversial, not airdate?
Airdate order, spooky. So Brian may view these shows the way human beings experience them in the far gone days of the 1990s. We recommend you watch today's DCAU episode before listening to this podcast. To get the full experience out of our discussion, Brian's turning down I'm talking too loud for Brian.
It's just too loud.
It's too loud now. Well, when you've spent half of your life 2 feet away from drum lines, your ears tend to need some assistance. Mine's turned up way higher. Well,
what?
Not way higher, but it's turned up higher.
What?
Who?
What?
Hi. Today we're watching Avatar.
The Last Airbender. We're watching all 3 books.
James Cameron hit Avatar.
No, we're not. No?
You're
the only person I've ever met that can name a character from that movie.
Jake Sully.
Yep.
Sigourney Weaver.
Wait, is it the actor's name or the character's name?
That's the character's name.
Oh, okay.
Sigourney Weaver.
Is that the actor's name or the character's name?
The actor's name. Jake Sully. I've yet to answer the question for you. Jake Sully is main blue man character, Avatar man.
Hell yeah.
Wheelchair man Avatar.
Yep. Nice.
Your prediction from before.
Vague as hell.
What was it?
It was about the whole like...
Oh, it's just someone's not who they say they are.
I had to keep dumbing it down for you, and I can't remember what I said.
Someone's being a different person. They have an avatar or something like that.
Yeah, basically like a stand-in, I think was the word I landed on.
I don't know. Well, I can tell you that this episode originally aired Monday, May 9th, 1994. So
One skip day? No, 5 skip days.
Like a whole week, pretty much. Yeah, for some reason we had like 2 days in a row of new episodes and then probably reruns the rest of the week. And now we got another new episode, 4:30 p.m. on Fox.
Man, that's great.
This is produced number 69. No, how do I get to the...
Where's the button that says nice?
There. Oh, it's close enough. Or the 69. See, I've got all the buttons now. I've incorporated the old buttons back into the show.
If you haven't noticed.
Season 3, Jump on the Batwagon. We've got all the sounds.
Us.
We play In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins on repeat.
Do you want to just give a quick... Because we're just there. We're in it.
This is the life, yeah. We were in the car. We drove up to Walmart because I was trying to get a boom arm for this microphone. Instead, I'm just holding it in my hand. My arm is the boom arm.
Much cheaper.
Yeah, true. It's already... I was born with it. Molded by it. The cat's gonna drink my tea. Anyway, we pulled up to the store and Phil Collins In the Air Tonight was playing in the car, and it was just subconsciously in our heads. We didn't even really take notice of it. And then we went into Walmart and it was playing in the store, and we're like, oh, it must be the same radio station. Got back in the car, it was still playing. That's not that long of a song. How is it still playing? Whatever. Then it started playing Payphone by Maroon 5, and it interrupted 2 seconds into the song and went to an orthodontics commercial or something. And I said, oh, that's weird. A commercial interrupted the song. And then In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins started playing, and we went, this just played. And then listened through the whole song, and we were thinking, oh, what a funny prank it would be if they just put that song on again. Then it started playing Payphone for a couple seconds and got interrupted by an orthodontics commercial. And we realized, oh, the broadcast is on like a 5-minute loop for some reason. And it did it about 6 more times on our way here. So
we didn't change the station.
No, we did not.
But we did record a couple of bits.
Yeah, and maybe I've posted a hilarious TikTok of it. Who knows? It's gotten so many views, I'm sure, by now.
1 million. That means you've gone viral.
I've gone viral.
Viral.
Virality.
You have a virus.
Avatar was written by writer Michael Reeves. Not James Cameron or whoever. I don't know who wrote Avatar. Who knows?
Some asshole.
The most highest grossing movie of all time. Some asshole.
They'd have to be, right?
Michael Reeves, notably Pretty Poison, Perchance to Dream, I Am the Night, and Sideshow, which is what we just watched. Sideshow Bob.
My number 10, baby, which we didn't ever read either of our lists.
No, we didn't.
You kind of did when you read the whole 00 thing.
Yeah. Well, maybe. I don't know. We'll see if this one makes it. Director Kevin Altieri, notably On Leather Wings, so good. POV, Two-Face, The Mechanic, The Demon's Quest. Music by Michael McQuistion and Carlos Rodriguez. Michael McQuistion, notably I Am the Night, Christmas with the Joker, The Demon's Quest Part 1, and Sideshow.
Whoa, there's a repeat here.
And then Carlos Rodriguez, notably I've Got Batman in My Basement. So he's probably responsible. Yeah, basement. He probably wrote that. And Robin's Reckoning Part 1.
That's cool.
And animation by Studio Junio. Responsible for Underdwellers, Dreams in Darkness, Blind as a Bat, and Mudslide. All of which we've had not great things to say about the art. But I also remember some pretty cool things about the art in this episode, so it remains to be seen how bad it actually is.
Is this one of the ones that you've watched a lot of?
I've watched a decent amount of times, but it's not like...
Okay.
It's not like a... Well, I'm not going to say... Why would I tell you?
I'm just trying to see what I can get away with.
You know, you had your prediction of what this episode was. Can I give you more of a hint if I tell you that Joe will be joining us today for this podcast? What does that mean?
Oh my God, what was he on?
Gef Al Ghul episodes.
Oh,
it's a Gef Al Ghul episode. So we'll watch the
Avatar.
Episode. Yeah. What is it? What do you think it means now?
Anything different? No,
it's the same. Well, we're gonna go watch it, and then we'll with Joe.
Let's go watch with Joe,
and then we'll come back and talk with Joe about Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Joe, is Joe here? Ashton
Kutcher. That's a reference to the video.
It is
that we did on Batman and Harley Quinn. Brian's taking a photo of me with a camera.
It's kind of dark to be taking a photo, but I'm gonna. Okay, ready? First photo with this camera. Check that.
It's gonna look so good.
I hope so.
It's posted right below in the description? No, it's not. Okay, Here we go.
The completed scroll?
Yes, and a translation made by Raish.
Did you really think I would be foolish enough not to have this sanctum under observation?
Father, you really are alive.
Yes, Talia, I am alive. No thanks, I regret to say, are due you for my current state of health.
No, Father, you can't believe that. I only tried to save the man I love.
You've got a serious priority problem, Raish. What can be in that tomb that's more valuable than the love of your daughter? Power, detective.
The power once held by almighty Thoth Capera, queen of 2 continents.
You surprise me, Raish. The world's oldest chauvinist chasing after a woman.
Thoth Capera was not simply a woman, detective, nor merely a ruler. Through her flowed the power of the gods. With no more than a gesture, she controlled the force of life and death, and with it she kept a nation under her thumb for 1,000 years.
You sound like a bad Saturday afternoon cereal, Raish. This is sheer nonsense.
No, detective. I know there is a power there to be tapped. My 600 years of life are proof of that power. Farewell, detective. Farewell, Talia. It is said that one finds immortality in one's offspring. Alas, I know that to be a lie.
Brian's going to put a cat in a room.
That's fine.
That's fine. It gives me more time to find tinybooted.feet.jpg.
Yeah, all I'm going to say is Jessica walking in right now would be real weird.
No, she'd understand.
Are we doing a thing?
Yeah, Joe's changed my background to Aladdin porn.
Sweet.
It's a good thing we've recorded for a minute and a half of you doing that.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, Joe's here.
Hi.
Joe's here.
Hello.
Joe's here.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Bye, Joe.
Bye. See you later.
I'm not there. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
You're here in digital.
We're in big bus. You're in smaller bus.
Okay.
Do you know what that means?
No.
Will we
But,
explain that to you? I'm going to play the song. You're not. No, I'm not going to. I'll play it. I'll edit it in. Here it is.
Sinyop. If you're wondering, Sinyop. What you just watched. Sinyop. Take a listen to the synopsis. The short summary, which is sometimes kind of long.
All right, that was such a cute little song we
That was
just
a good
played.
song.
That was definitely a cute song
Cute
that we
song.
absolutely
I heard all of it.
100% just played.
We played it.
Yeah.
Joe, tell us what happens in Avatar.
So
There's blue people in
it begins in 1898 in it was Egypt, right?
I think so.
I'm assuming so. No, was it somewhere else?
Oh, what? Gibraltar?
Gibraltar's where he went.
Is that?
And
I
then
don't
he flew.
know.
I don't think it was
remember.
Gibraltar because he flew to Gibraltar to see Talia, and then they flew somewhere else to where the tomb was.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to assume it was Egypt because it was all pyramids and things like that.
I don't know. I'm racist. I don't remember.
In Aladdinville. There's this tomb, people searching for something in there. Quick cut to Batman flying to Gibraltar, basically, to see Talia.
You've skipped entirely the Batman gets bit by a snake and Ra's al Ghul's there.
Yeah. It's so okay. I've been up for like 27 hours, basically. So give me a second. Yeah, there's
You're
the
doing
whole
great, buddy.
Batman finds Ra's al Ghul while there's like this scroll being stolen by Ubu. He catches Ubu, pulls the mask off. It's Ubu. Then Ra's al Ghul comes into the doorway, throws a snake at him out of his snake utility belt.
Big snake.
It bit Batman in the wrist cuff. His suit is not protective against cobras. He started to die. Ra's left. Of course, he has Batman anti-cobra venom on his utility belt.
Yeah.
Saves himself.
He always for that one specific type of snake.
Egyptian cobra.
Goes
venom, yeah.
back to his Batcave. Is questioned by Alfred whether or not it was Ra's al Ghul, and he said that he was very certain that it was. And then he went to his elevator and said Gibraltar, and then he left and flew across the country.
He did say that.
Landed in Gibraltar as he's walking as Bruce Wayne down this foresty kind of pathway. Gets attacked by two guys, beats them up, and Talia's there. So I really didn't skip that much.
No, you're good.
He's like, "Oh, your dad's doing shit again." They fly to what I assume is Egypt, go into the tomb originally from the first scene, and she's like, "How did you know to be here?" And he said, "I'm Batman," or that's what he should have said. Went looking for this scroll thingy, I guess. This guy tried to sell him this figurine that he said there was only one of, but they saw that there were more. They're quick to find that stuff. They always looking for
The
a good
camera zooms in to show you the audience that
and-
he's lying.
Yeah, basically what you need to get from that is that they're always looking for a good bargain. They're not looking to get screwed over by some pawn shop people. Doesn't matter where they are. Go into the back of this place, find this little tomb thing that Batman just somehow knows the secret way to open. Salesman and his friends show up, say my favorite line of the whole thing, which is, "This section's closed to customers," which is so perfectly like cheesy. But it's just like it's the most appropriate line that could possibly be there, and I appreciate that.
I mean, that whole thing is very Indiana Jones, and that was a very Indiana Jones line that they said.
Yeah, it's a good line. Like that's the line that has to be there. They obviously beat up bad guys, go into the tomb. Raish and Ubu show back up, correct?
Yeah.
They uncover this tomb that's there that Raish knows about that is this old like Egyptian goddess of some sort that is supposed to be like all-knowing and all-powerful, of all knowledgeable, things like that. Go in and there's a boiling pool of Mountain Dew again. And
Yay! Bring it back.
Yeah, throwback.
It's like fondue thickness this time.
That's true, yeah. They like added some cornstarch to it or something. They're trying to make like a nice, when you like throw some like wine or something into a pan, like a deglazing, and you make like a sauce out of it. That's one of those.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Throw some wine in the Mountain Dew.
Yeah. Make it thicker. And out of the center of this comes this like Cleopatra-y looking like goddess person who says, "I'm this person from the tomb," and he's like, "Oh, tell me everything," and they kiss, and he kind of gets the life sucked out of him like from the Green Mile. And then he's all like tossed away. Batman and Talia come in, and they're like, "Whoa, this is not good." And Cleopatra lady turns real bad, and she looks like what's the lady from Emperor's New Groove, Yzma? Something like that.
This looks like natural Yzma, but she's like
yeah. And she starts throwing green hentai tentacles at everything and trying to catch Batman and then catches Talia. And Batman jumps after her, picks up a sword in the ground, slashes off the hentai tentacle. They try to run out and everything. They pick up Raish on the way. Batman pushes this enormous tombstone thing over by himself, probably breaking his tailbone in the process.
It's a good thing he didn't have Brian's gut surgery, or he'd be a goner in that situation.
At the very least, he's got a hernia.
Yeah, for sure. He's got hernia meds in his utility belt, don't worry.
They close the tomb and collapse it all. They all come out, and it cuts to them, Raish and all of his henchmen, Ubu and whatnot, tied to horses walking through the desert. Talia turns on him, points a gun at Batman, and says, like, "I can't let you take them. He is my father." Batman hops off the horse. Talia cuts them loose. At the last little bit, you see Ubu turn around and throw a canteen at Batman as he's left to the desert, and they walk off in another direction. It's got to be full of pee.
That's what you said. I was like, "Oh, Ubu's having a change of heart," and you're like, "This is the pee this is the canteen I've been using to pee."
And Batman decides to not follow them and walk off in a different direction. That's the end.
Yeah, he just kind of leaves.
Yeah. Oh, guess I'm walking through Egypt now. Don't have anything on my utility belt for this.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
The part where he opens up the tomb by just like, "Oh, I know that the like staff goes this way," and it opens. That was very similar to, there was a Penguin episode we watched forever ago where they're in a factory and there's bird seed falling from the sky.
Oh, he just pulls the lever.
He just pulls he knows to pull this lever that's gonna. And we're like, "How do you know?" So Batman's just lever knowledgeable. He's got lever intuition, I guess.
He is Batman, and he's a quick study. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's like, you looked at that lever for 2 seconds. I also liked there's a part when they go down into the starting of the tomb, staircase 1 of the tomb or whatever, and there's just a little like writer's desk there with the map on it, and then a plexiglass, or I guess just normal glass, rectangular prism drops from the ceiling perfectly over where they were standing. And when to get out, he just like rips off his big pockets and puts them in their ears.
Oh yeah.
What are you going to do? Or cover your ears, Talia, and pray.
I mean, like, there is the like trick of like rolling up some Kleenex or some toilet paper and putting them in your ears as like some modified earplugs. But a couple things about that. Whatever, like, could you imagine whatever style of pants or whatever it's made out of, some cotton or whatever denim? Could you imagine jamming that into your ears, first of all?
And him just ripping it with his fingertips. Like,
Well, I mean, he is Batman. Like,
True. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair,
so there's
it
that.
looked like the inside of his pocket. Maybe he had like paper towels in there or something. I don't know.
That or he's just got some like he just discovered the whole American Eagle trend of like ripped pants again. But also like I just wanted to mention like at any point when they're walking around in normal clothes how thick they were.
Yeah. They were they were very our animators were very like quick to make sure you knew like Talia's got back, you know.
Everyone does.
Yeah, I mean,
Bruce
Wayne
got
does
back.
too.
Yeah,
And
Raish
Ra's al
got back.
Ghul does. Yeah.
Yeah. Ubu got back.
I don't know if Ubu did because not everyone did. That was the thing.
No, and not everyone had the big pockets.
Yeah,
I don't know
and
what the
even Bruce Wayne didn't throughout the episode. He only did when he was with Talia. Like when he first got to Gibraltar and he's walking down, he doesn't have that unless it's covered up by the trench coat, but it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, between this episode and the Poison Ivy one we watched a couple episodes ago, we've got like 6 new Bruce Wayne outfits.
Yeah.
And, like the Poison Ivy one we watched, he puts on like a suit and like fedora to go to the docks for a meeting. And in this one, he's got like 3 different Egyptian travel uniforms and stuff. It's just like, why?
They're just really like whipping these outfits out.
Yeah. We got to sell action figures of Big Pockets Batman with big pocket action.
I mean, I hope that exists.
So those are the like, aren't those like the riding pants or whatever you call those? Like the big like triangles hanging off the side?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why isn't everyone else wearing them?
That's a really good, well, that's not a good question. Obviously, they're like horrendous. No one in the right mind would
It's
wear
not a
them.
good question. You're dumb.
Stop it. At the beginning with the snake, pocket snake, Ray's just, where was he keeping that? And then Batman we joked about this already, but he just has the exact anti-venom for that particular snake in a tube in his utility.
He doesn't even have to look. He's just like, I know it's this
He drank
one.
it, and then Joe said, I fucking hate Batman.
I mean, like, it's just... It's so cheap. Like,
yeah,
you're just prepared for everything except for, but now I guess I have to walk through the desert.
Yeah, well, I guess you presume he has some other magic in
If
his
you have
utility
anti-venom, you can get out of the desert.
Yeah, each one of it turns out the whole time each one of those little cylinders on his belt was a different like anti-venom for a different animal.
Yeah. Maybe he has a different belt for each country he goes to.
He knows he's gonna go.
That's a good theory.
Let me read the official synopsis here.
Right.
This is a pretty short one. A mystic Egyptian scroll donated to the Gotham Museum by Bruce Wayne is stolen by Ra's al Ghul, Gef al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul, and Batman and Talia must join forces to prevent the power-mad Ra's from unlocking the scroll's secrets of life and death. Their quest takes them to I was like, what? Their quest takes them to a hidden temple deep beneath the Egyptian desert. Okay. There, the Dark Knight is forced into a terrifying battle with an ancient Egyptian sorceress who seeks to destroy them all. That's it. Pretty descriptive. A lot shorter than what Joe said.
Did she seek
more
to
accurate.
destroy them all?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess she definitely wanted to, but there wasn't much seeking on her part. She pretty much just stood in one location the whole time.
She seeked to be a Dementor and then continued to exist. She was kind of
Less
like...
seeking, more sucking.
Yeah. Sucked to destroy them all. It
was kind of interesting in the beginning also how Ubu was wearing the phantasm thing.
Yeah. Why was he wearing that at all? I guess for the reveal of it's Ubu.
Yeah.
But I had already forgotten that the last time we saw Ra's al Ghul was when his hand came out and Spider-Man onto the side of a wall and you heard him laugh like, I'm still alive, actually. In my brain, I'm like, Ra's al Ghul, the bad guy from Batman. Like, this doesn't affect me that he's here when you're supposed to be more like, what? How is he here? How's he alive? Or whatever.
I definitely felt very removed from that to remember that was a big deal.
Yeah.
I also can't remember, does Ubu have any lines thus far that are not infidel?
I think that's all he said in this. He said infidel, and he said
in this one, but in any previous episodes, has he said any more?
I think he did. I think he said something about like don't step in front of the guy.
Yeah,
only he gets to go forward or whatever. I don't know.
He's definitely got a catchphrase.
I did think it was funny that I'm pretty sure he has a new voice actor. Like I said, it changes like every time. And yet that's all, he said one word and a bunch of grunts in this. Let's talk about the cast. We got Kevin Conroy as Batman, of course.
Of course.
Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. as Alfred, of course.
Of course.
George DiCenzo as Ubu. Oh, he was Ubu in the Demon's Quest Part 2. But he had changed from Part 1 for some reason. So I guess maybe they got him to do some extra grunts before he left.
He was sick that day.
We got Nichelle Nichols as Thoth Capera. She's Uhura on Star Trek, the original Star Trek show. Joe knows this. Mm-hmm. You don't know who Uhura is on Star Trek? The like famous character from the original Star Trek cast? Fuck you, Brian. We got Brock Peters as Lucius Fox, Helen Slater as Talia, and David Warner as Ra's al Ghul. So mostly returning people, and then Uhura as Thoth Capera.
When I was like loading the episode on the HBO Go or whatever, it also in the cast of it, and I don't know if it just does a generalized cast for the entire series, it said Mark Hamill.
Oh, weird. It might just have a full, yeah.
It must just be a generalized cast. I was like, oh, who's Mark Hamill going to be in this one?
He's the Joker. You don't remember? He was in this episode. He was Thoth Capera.
He was the boiling Mountain Dew.
He was the Slimer Ghostbusters ghosts coming out of the green Play-Doh.
He was the right tentacle.
Yeah.
His most famous
That'd
role.
be a great credit. Mark Hamill, right tentacle.
Yeah. And it gets constantly accidentally spelled as testicle, you see.
Yeah.
Let's do some trivs, Brian and Joe.
Give me some trivs.
Gibraltar is shown on the map as part of Spain, and the warning sign is only in Spanish. However, Gibraltar is British territory captured from Spain in 1704. So therefore, this episode must take place in 1703, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was actually another thing I was going to bring up, was that it says that, like, in the beginning, I'm assuming it was like Egypt or something, 1898, right? Which we've decided that we're not sure if Brian was born yet or not.
Right.
It never said, like, oh, we're back in normal time. So I'm just like, oh, is Batman just, like, hundreds of years old now?
We're still in 1898.
I think the differentiation was that back then there wasn't sound, there was only music.
Right.
Like the 1900s, speaking came out.
Yeah.
Oh, that was another. Sorry, I'm like jumping around because it comes back to me. The other funny part in the beginning that I forgot to mention, which was as the whole cave thing was collapsing and like the rope burned and like came out all seared, and people on the outside of this little hole were trying to pull it back. That one guy was trying to hold the rope back. He like lost it, and everyone jumped on his back to try and surf on the sand through him as they tried to hold the rope in place. That was pretty funny.
That was awesome.
Fuck that guy. We had to save. So, okay, the beginning of this episode, a very like youthful-ish looking Ra's al Ghul looking man goes down in that hole. Did you kind of notice he looked racy? That's what I've always assumed, that's him.
Yeah.
I'd say he looked 1990s racial.
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. but there's no real answer within the episode whether that's him or just some other guy. I'm pretty sure like on a behind the scenes side of this, it's not supposed to be him. But why does it look so much like why would they not make it look like a blonde guy?
Bruce Wayne doesn't even look like Bruce Wayne. Like
the art was a little weird in this.
Art was
bad. It was kind of interesting at one part, like when Ra's and Ubu came in. Also, that I wanted. I'm so bad about like just jumping all over the place. But I don't
it's Joe. You've been up for 27 hours.
Yeah. As like Ra's and Ubu were like walking forward, I think in the first part of when they encountered Batman, the camera stays in one spot as both of them like walk past the camera, and Ra's just continues talking, even though he's already walked out of frame. And that, I don't know, I took notice of that.
He then also re-entered frame and kept talking, but his mouth wasn't moving at the start, and then his mouth moved after he talked.
Yeah,
I noticed.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's bad animation. We're talking about bad animation. There was a lot of weird. It's weird because like the Thoth Capera stuff, the like go my slimy minions go, is like pretty okay looking. Like it's very detailed and kind of creepy and glowy and cool. But then everything else is just like a little bit weird. Like something's wrong with your face, and I can't quite place it or whatever.
I don't know. I thought she actually looked pretty. Like I was like, oh, this is actually not bad. Like she actually looks like, if I were watching this as a kid, I'd be like, oh, that's like kind of scary looking. Like
yeah. I was talking about this with Brian a little bit. There was a Batman the Animated Series like official website when the show was on, and it had like pages for each character, like each main character, and then there was a page just called like new villains, and it had like the Clock King and a couple other people we haven't gotten to yet, and then Thoth Capera and Tigress I think were on there as like, whoa, weird new character. And I assumed as a child, having not seen those episodes, that like those are going to be like main villains or something, and they're just she's just this weird one-off ghost lady who can apparently be wrapped up by a rope and crushed by a rock and punched in the face and whatever else happens. Like she's just weirdly able to interact with physical objects, and she's actually there, and so I don't know. Was
she not supposed to be there?
There's the shots of when she comes out of the ooze, and she's like, Ra's al Ghul, I speak English for some reason, and it's like fading between the shots of her and him, and I've always sort of thought like, oh, okay, that he's like seeing her, but she's not really there, or it's like mystical or like a trance that she's putting him in and stuff like that, and then it fades to Talia and Batman running down the stairs. And there's just skeleton lady standing there, and they can touch her, they can throw things at her.
Well, I mean, but like Ra's like started making out with her,
I guess, yeah. I don't know.
and then she was like sucking his soul or whatever, and then her real, I don't know. To be fair, I'm like starting to realize that like pretty much all these Ra's al Ghul episodes are just awful.
I think Demon's Quest was okay.
I mean, it's like Batman goes to the desert.
Yeah.
We get to see a lot of flying in planes. It's all kind of the same. It's all weird. Like it becomes this like, and I guess I can appreciate like what was going on in the 90s that would make it so the writers and everything would be like, yeah, this is the cool hip thing. We got to do some weird like Curse of the Pharaohs thing with Batman. And they just kind of keep doing it, and it's just kind of like,
it is a little samey, I guess. But also, Joe, what do you think of that, Joe? Because this is the next time you watched the show after the last Ra's al Ghul
That's true.
episode.
I mean, I guess I don't have very much to compare it to. I question whether or not you say it's awful in the sense of like this is so bad I just don't want to watch this, or if it's awful in the sense of like every movie Steven Seagal's been in where this is awful but I love it.
I guess it's like, maybe I was being a little harsh. Like, it's fine. It's just not good.
You're like James Bond fanatic too, and I feel like this is like eking into like a spy-ish kind of territory.
I think you nailed it more with Indiana Jones. It's way more Indiana
yeah.
Jones than James Bond. And Indiana Jones was one of the things that when I was a kid, like I watched, but I was never really hooked on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe
I guess I can agree with you in that like it's not like the most wonderful thing I've ever seen in my life, but I mean it's entertaining. Like it's fun to kind of pick apart and go like, why the fuck? So like for example, Batman mentions in the episode that this is like his number one nemesis, like, oh, this is my toughest guy that I'm ever against. But he saves him.
Mm-hmm. He's Batman.
Why?
You let him
Batman
die.
also threw a grenade at someone else. Why didn't he save that person?
He threw a grenade at the evil demon sorceress or whatever.
No, if anyone's going to kill Ra's, it's going to be me.
But also the two henchmen that got the statue landed upon them. That was Batman's doing, right?
Yeah, he like pushed over a 3,000 pounds tiger statue onto the guy. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just like Batman's always looking to find the redeeming qualities of people, but it is a little bit weird that he's also just going around being like, Ra's al Ghul is the wickedest guy, and he's gonna destroy the planet, and I have to stop him, even if he's your father, and that kind of attitude in these episodes. And yeah, he's just like, all right.
He sees the good in you unless you're a henchman.
Yeah, you guys, you made a choice to be here.
Also, the Talia thing at the end of the episode is pretty weak, wasn't it?
A little bit. They're like, he is my dad. Bye.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah,
well,
I mean-
I see that you still like me, even though I absolutely abandoned you. And then she's like, you're right. Yeah. I'm gonna save you. Like, what?
Ray should also told her earlier in the episode, like, they say that eternity is found in the offspring, and obviously you have proven me wrong. Which is like,
that was a lie. Or whatever,
man, that hurts. But I'll still save you, I guess.
Yeah.
Also,
why?
I just remember in terms of animation, I liked the bad animation. I liked the you're sure it was my father? Like, he's dead or whatever. And he's like, I'll never forget that face or whatever. And then it just shows a painting of him with a really awkwardly
Oh my
off-model
God.
gross face on
It was like the worst painting of any character we've seen. It was maybe worse than what episode was that when there's
Martha Wayne.
yeah, the picture of and it was just like the big creepy smile.
Yeah, it was a flashback to Robin as a kid, and Bruce is like staring at a painting of his parents, and it's supposed to be this really emotional scene. It is a really emotional scene, but Robin's like, your parents? And you're like, mm-hmm. And then it shows the painting, and her face just looks just so stupid and bad.
She looks like something out of Invader Zim.
Is Robin an adult?
He's like 19 or something at this point, I think.
He's a college dick.
He's a college dick. He's in college.
He's a fuck boy.
I think I had thought that the scene of Batman getting the way Joe said that makes me think of the Poison Ivy. Send out the fuck boy on the docks. Anyway, now let me see the fuck boy. The scene of Batman getting bit by the snake, I had for some reason thought that was in the previous Ra's al Ghul episode. So when we watched that and it wasn't in there, I was like, oh, I guess I'm remembering wrong. That doesn't happen. And then I was like, oh,
it's here.
This because Ra's al Ghul just kind of goes like, with his hand. And I don't think you see any. If you do, it's like one frame and I blinked or something because it's just, he just throws his hand out and then Batman goes, his instinct is to catch whatever Ra's threw at him. Oh, it's a snake. Fuck.
Is there any sort of like canonic, like Batman's suit is made out of this material?
No, not in this really.
That's a good watchtower video though.
It's not snake proof. Yeah.
Apparently not. Suit. But I mean, I assume that it like those cufflinks or whatever you want to call them are some sort of like. They've got to be something pretty durable, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Maybe not, as we found out.
I mean, yeah, I say these are the times where we need to, like, I wish Steve Irwin were around so we could see if snakes could actually bite through the material.
Can a snake bite through Batman's gloves? Let's find out. Yeah.
Okay, it's time to reboot Mythbusters.
Yeah. We just get a like whatever Ben Affleck suit or something and see if a snake can bite through.
Hell yeah. Somebody call Alan Pan.
From the looks of it, I would assume that suit's a little bit tougher.
Well, we've seen other episodes where like a guy will slash at Batman with like just a pocket knife and it'll go through his stuff or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Through that part?
He's just wearing like pajamas. He's not really...
I bet you'd want this kind of silk touching your skin.
Yeah. He's just really itchy all the time. I'm in wool pajamas. Whoa. Why did I choose this? The guy at the start of the episode, I do have a trip here. The ill-fated archaeologist in the opening sequence, so I guess it's not right, was modeled after British actor Peter Cushing. Specifically, Cushing's role in Hammer's The Mummy. Most will know Peter Cushing as Grand Moff Tarkin in Star Wars.
Huh.
So I guess that guy was supposed to look like Grand Moff Tarkin.
No, who else was he? What are the characters?
I don't know. He's in The Mummy in Star Wars. That's all I know.
Interesting.
There's some characters that are like there will be a newscaster that looks like Al Roker in Superman the Animated Series for one episode. Well, you know, Al Roker with the Hershey Kiss nipples.
Oh, he's this guy. What? Peter Cushing.
Yeah. You've seen him.
Wow, he's been in a lot of things.
He's in the Avatar Batman the Animated Series. The moment Thoth initially appears as a pretty young woman as she arises from the Lazarus pit and seduces Ra's, only to reveal her true self as an aged hag after she embraces him, is similar to a scene in The Shining where Jack, portrayed by Jack Nicholson, investigates the bathroom of room 234. You remember this scene in The Shining where there's like a cute lady in the bathtub and he's like, ooh, boobs. And then they start kissing and she's like, I'm actually old and scary.
I don't remember that at all.
That's what happens.
Oh.
That's a real strange reference. But I mean, I guess it works.
I mean, I don't know if that's actually a reference or if that's just that's also happens in this movie.
Yeah.
Also, I guess, I mean, that whoever wrote that, it's probably kind of opinionated, and they also refer to that goo as the Lazarus pit. I'm not so sure that was a Lazarus pit. I think it was just some sort of weird, like, goo. But
that's a fair point, because also if it was a Lazarus pit, wouldn't Ra's
Jeff, hell yeah, and just go step in it.
I mean, didn't he have like a map of every single one of the planet?
That's true, yeah. Yeah, he did have the map.
Also, note the sounds of him walking into the goo were very prominent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta step on Jello.
That's just stirring some mac and cheese in a pot.
Macaroni in a pot. That's a Jeff Owl Ghoul walking on green.
I'm walking on mac and cheese. Anyway, yeah, I was just thinking that probably wasn't a Lazarus pit. You're right, because he had the map of where all they were, and he's like, I've been looking for you for 500 years. Like, wouldn't he know? But also, it's just a weird choice to make it glowing green bubbling goop. Why not make it like purple or red or something different? I don't know.
These are the questions.
I feel like it has to be like a Lazarus pit just because of it's green and it's a Ra's al Ghul episode. Like it has to be.
So therefore, it is Baja Blast.
Because exactly like your point's exactly right. Like why wouldn't it be a different color?
I guess, yeah, it could go either way. Thoth Capera refers to herself as Legion because many have shared her their knowledge with her. This is an allusion to the biblical demon Legion. Brian's taking a photo.
I'm just playing with the camera. I thought the We Are Legion thing was some Batman thing. I feel like I've heard you. That's why I looked over at you when she said that.
Isn't it like a TV show or something?
Legion is a X-Men universe thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like because I thought the same thing. Like it was a reference to that or something.
No, I mean like there's just the like. What is it like? I am Legion for we are many or something like that. I don't know the Bible. Don't ask me questions. I don't
know
watch
all
VeggieTales.
the Bible.
You've memorized the Bible?
The whole thing.
Oh, where's the part with Egyptian goddess?
Revelations 4:20-69.
Ah, cool. Nichelle Nichols, Brock Peters, and David Warner all appeared in the movie Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country. Three of the voice actors. As Commander Uhura, Chancellor Gorkin, and Admiral Cartwright, respectively. This marks the first time that Batman is shown to be willing to kill a sentient being. I wrote that down. I don't agree. He killed Clayface. There's no way he didn't kill Clayface.
Also, he killed some other non-human thing. At least one.
Maybe. He killed that henchman by pushing over a really heavy statue onto him.
He did that, but there was some like... Because I think we talked about this. It was like, oh, no, they're not human, so it's okay that he can like do that. Maybe he was hitting something. I don't know. Robot things? Did he kill robot things? Was that sentient? I guess it's not sentient.
I guess, yeah, he killed like Hardak, if you want to count that. I feel like this is maybe though an example of the first time that Batman is seeing or like interacting with something that's not like explainable by science, at least within this universe. Like he's fighting like a weird zombie ghost person, and he doesn't have much of a reaction other than like that thing. Like I think you feel like he should be way more like, hang on, ghosts are real? What the fuck? I don't have any more trivs. That's all the trivs. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we get into the things we always do?
I just wanted to, like, I was waiting to see if this would come up in a trivia thing with all of the like references to Legion and etc. One of the things that they did not make a relation to, because there's the Peter Cushing thing, etc.
Mm-hmm. They
also seem to base the sand in Egypt off of the sand in Mad Max.
In what way?
And I just wanted to point out that it's sand.
What?
I don't know. I just feel like the other references are also very like, oh, this is like, no one's going to catch this. Like
the sand is actually, yeah, okay. Yeah, they're very like, it's The Shining because it's sort of like that, yeah.
Yeah, because this other thing coincidentally happened in a movie that I guess if you look at it in this way could be related.
Remember in Indiana Jones when they did a map with little dots as they're traveling? Remember in Tailspin when they had a big tailspin plane? In this they have a big tailspin plane. Yeah. Art-wise, I did kind of like that Batman's like highlights that are normally blue are like brown in this. Like they're reflecting brown shit. Or he just brought his brown costume.
The brownish blue bat suit.
Yeah.
I think this is about the point in the series where they upgraded to the 64 crayon Crayola box with the sharpener, right?
Right, yeah, they got more options.
We got
brown now.
They got the cool kid Crayola box.
Yeah. Oh, Robin's egg blue? Amazing. peach. I can use all the colors. Like those two guys standing outside the shop that were unanimated, like they were just frozen.
The statues,
And you're like, oh, the statues. But then they're the two henchmen that come in, I think, that are like, this part of the store is closed off or whatever.
Well, that's what the Maltese Falcon does. That shop owner was stroking. It reanimates statues.
I'm glad that you remembered the name of that.
Stumbling backwards into the bookshelf and the music's like bloop, 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 like comedic.
It was so funny. And the dude just like fell for whoa.
He also wasn't falling or stumbling very quickly. He like very casually just kind of, I'm just going to take a step, shattered bookcase.
He's really heavy. He's a very dense, man. Oh, and also Ubu doing that little Scooby-Doo like super fast run there for a second.
Yeah. We're gonna run faster.
I guess I do kind of think it's neat, like watching these in order like this. Like I've watched this episode a few times, but not in a sequence of with the other Ra's al Ghul episodes.
Yeah.
Where I think it's kind of interesting that Ubu was so like, you fuckhead, get out of here to Batman before, and then Batman sort of saved him, or at least like helped him when the place was crumbling around them. And so then when he's like,
I mean, he ran by them, if that's what you mean by help.
Well, I don't know. He was there to lean on or something at the end of it. And then he must have something in his head that's like, Batman's okay, I guess, because he was just like, here's my pee, you can drink my pee at the end of the thing.
What was the point of like crushing and like closing that hole? Was she gonna get out?
I don't think it was on purpose. I think it just started happening. Like he was, I guess. Oh yeah, he's trying to cover up the hole with the statue. But you would think it would have to be so perfectly covering the hole, or else the tentacles could still get out of there.
Yeah.
This is an out of context phraseology here that I wish I wasn't saying.
This is like another brings up another like outside theory. You see in multiple, I guess, movies, shows, cartoons, whatever, that are set in like Egyptian pyramid-y kind of places where, we move this one little lever and this enormous thing that no one can move just shifts, even though it's not connected to anything, which just further corroborates that the aliens must have been involved.
Yeah.
I don't know, Joe. Have you ever seen a Rube Goldberg machine?
You just don't see any of the background working stuff. Like, how did that whole, like, that heavy thing move just because Raish accidentally pushed down part of a statue?
Yeah.
Rube Goldberg machine.
I guess.
He put the marble popped the balloon, it knocked over the tea kettle, and
then this
the dominoes.
3-ton piece of concrete shifted across the sand.
Yeah, it builds up with the momentum.
I guess,
I'll believe Brian for now. I don't know. We'll have to go to some ancient Egyptian tombs and test out his theory.
Tune in next week when we're hosting from Egypt.
Yeah. There is an issue of the comic that ties into this cartoon where Raish has like discovered like a UFO buried in the desert somewhere. So I think maybe Joe's onto something.
Okay, it can be aliens. Aliens that made a Rube Goldberg machine.
They're the ones that created Rube Goldberg's machines, and therefore
Rube Goldberg was from Mars.
Ra's al Ghul's from Venus.
Yeah, I guess. Keen effects, that's what we do here on this show.
There weren't any. Actually, the
glowy lady.
My favorite like visual thing, weirdly enough, was when they
Talia's butt.
But they no,
that was my favorite.
Is when they got back to Egypt and the Mad Max sand was blowing pretty hard, and it was like
in Mad Max,
like sand falling down a hole.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, that actually looks pretty cool.
Sand in the hole. Yeah. I hate it when that happens.
Anatomically, I don't know. I feel like as far as animal knowledge and stuff of the three of us, Brian is probably the maximum amount of knowledge.
Is there a horse question?
Maximum
There's a horse question, yeah.
Okay,
how far back do horses' teeth go?
Was there a lot of teeth in that horse's mouth?
There was one very specific scene where a horse like came up and you saw all its teeth, but it only comes back like a third of its mouth. Is that anatomically correct? It was all one tooth also. That's probably the most correct part.
Yeah. It was a boxing mouth guard.
Yeah,
I was like,
basically.
I believed you
Yeah.
for a second. When the horse boxing.
I mean, horses do have like more prominent front teeth, and I don't know much about like the back of their teeth. Like they do the whole like lippy grabby bite thing. You can see it. They do have kind of like a disproportionate front teeth.
This is just not. I just wonder if it doesn't go back much further because the horse had its mouth open and the mouth came back further than a horse's mouth should. But you definitely saw space behind where there was no teeth, and I just don't know.
I feel like they must have something to like chomp on granary and whatever.
I
Maybe.
think this is I think similar to the last time we had Joe, where you questioned the like impression of bricks on a building instead of just drawing all the bricks or none of the bricks. I think that's what we got going on here with the horse's teeth.
The horse was also using crest white strips, but
Yeah, there we go. I think this is a keen effect. Is the we touched on it a little bit, but the opening scene just being like purely music and visuals. There was no
that was
sound
cool.
effects and stuff, and it was kind of like sepia tone ish. I mean, it was the same sort of brownish hue for the whole episode, but I didn't notice it till you went like, this is cool or something, and I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. Especially just the like pulling the rope up and everyone's like freaking out. The horses are, I think that's when it happened, the horses are rearing up and everyone's running away, and then the little kid's like, but he gave me my hat. He gave me his hat. And that was the whole scene. But yeah, it was just all music.
I wish this whole episode was just that level of artistry, because that first act was super cool. The rest of it, nah. Also, it appears that horses do have a separation between their front teeth and then their back molars. I was looking at pictures.
that's the important part of this whole podcast, is just to figure that section out. The horse was very like, I don't know. It was a good little couple of frame moment of like focus on the horse.
But you remembered the teeth. You caught the teeth
because they were so damn bright. What's your secret?
This horse is brushing well.
Just not drinking as much coffee as me.
Yeah. Yeah, surely. Batman's usefulness in this episode.
Yes.
Highly.
I mean, I guess he stopped the evil witch lady.
He saved Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah. He did everything you're supposed to do. He went to Gibraltar.
Oh, but I don't feel like really good about it.
It wasn't. He just went from point A to point. It was a point A to point B kind of episode. It wasn't like a bunch of. There wasn't much tension other than the goop, and the goop was still like, I know they're gonna beat the goop. It's okay.
He wasn't really. I don't feel like it was an episode that was actually really centrally based on Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, he kind of like things did just.
He's like
he
the
kinda
muscle.
Yeah,
It's a Ra's al Ghul / Talia episode, really, and he's
I
just
think
kind
that's
of
what
there.
the last ones were too.
yeah, yeah. Okay, with that rating, or with that in mind, do we have ratings?
I'll give Batman. I'll give him. I mean, he did all the stuff he needed to do. I'll give him a solid 8.
Okay.
I'll give him 8 triangles pointing to your crotch out of 10. It was like Ubu's costume at the start. It's right here. Here's where my penis is.
I'm gonna go a little bit lower than that. I'm gonna give him like a 6.3 genuine replica Maltese Falcons out of 10.
Joe, what you got?
I'm going lower than that. I'm going 5 grains of Mad Max sand.
Specifically,
Those are pretty
from the-
small grains too.
Yeah. Just the handful that dropped in the hole, you know.
I can either go that, or I can. It changes how I rate though. Like the sand, it's worth a 5. It's a 5.5 if you use like a 5.5 Ubu piss canteens.
Yeah. Those are higher rated. Those are some high graded pee canteen.
Looks like a quality canteen though. To be fair,
That's true. Yeah, it was a pretty good canteen. I'd like that canteen.
Yeah.
You know, books are hip hop.
books.
Books.
Like parchment books.
Books that crumble when you touch them. And then you keep grabbing them and they keep crumbling.
Oh my God, why? Why? If you cared about it at all, man, why?
Was this books or hip hop to you, Joe?
It's books, but it's like gold leaf where you think it's valuable, but it's actually not.
It has a good cover, but yeah.
It looks good from the outside, but once you open it up, there's no content.
This isn't a favorite episode of mine, but I do enjoy the like supernatural aspects of it, and it's kind of unique-ish. But I do agree that it is a little samey with the last Ra's al Ghul episodes. Like, we're gonna get in a plane and go to the place, and then we'll go to this place, and there's the thing that we need. Oh, Ra's al Ghul's here. What? We got to fight the end. Or we got to fight, and then he's fine at the. I get to leave now.
It has moments that are like, I guess, kind of unique and maybe slightly memorable and kind of cool, but overall, I think it's the worst Ra's al Ghul episode thus far.
So far, yeah. I think there will be better ones. I think you'll enjoy future ones more.
Says the person that's seen them.
I do, yeah, I have. But
spoilers.
Yeah, I mean, this sticks out in my head because of the creepy lady.
Exactly. Like, that part of it's notable.
Yeah, the rest of the episode's kind of just whatever.
Yeah, I guess I don't really care so much for the supernatural ones, do I?
I don't know. What else are you counting as that? Clayface, maybe?
I mean, I like the Clayface thing. It's these weird, like, one-off ghosty bandit kind of episodes where it's just like, I don't know, like Batman fights hentai. Okay.
When else has that happened?
Don't ask me to remember
it must
this.
have if you remember it happening, but I don't. I have no memory other than Clayface, or maybe like he had a dream in the Scarecrow episode that like Poison Ivy's arms became like vines and that were wrapping him up and stuff. There's the Invisible Man episode, but that's just a dude in an invisible suit. That wasn't a actual ghost character.
Doesn't count as a ghost if he's wearing a cloak.
He's in a suit. He's just in a sheet. Boo! I know you're not really a ghost. I can prove it. I'll come back as Bruce Wayne. Like, he has to go through this whole plot to uncover it.
Why in a world where all of the people associating with Batman / Bruce know that he's Batman / Bruce, why did he bother to Batman up?
I had that thought because obviously we're sitting here going, having that reaction of, and he's Batman now, I guess. I don't know for a fact, but I feel like there must be some kind of clause or something of like he must be Batman for at least a scene or something like that, because, and it also makes sense to like, okay, we're getting to the climax of the action and everything, like he should probably be Batman for this, but in narrative it doesn't make sense. Like,
well, like
if it was armor,
that's what I'm saying. If his thing doesn't like help against
protect him,
snake bites,
he's
then
just gonna
like
be warmer.
maybe he just like needs his utility belt. Like, toss his utility belt on. He's like, okay, I got all that I need here now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did he even use his utility belt other than snake venom?
He had that little sonic thing.
Yeah, didn't he use a whip or something to like stop?
He had like a rope. Yeah.
Yeah, or whatever.
I don't think
thing.
that was in the belt. I think that was on his big pants. I think it was on his big pocket pants.
The ultrasonic little radio thingy also was not on his utility belt, was it? Was he wearing it?
No, I
think
think
he was in normal
He had
clothes.
that before,
Yeah, he pulled that out of his pocket.
The big pockets.
Yeah.
That's when he's not Batman. The utility belt is replaced by big pockets. I can keep everything in here.
This is just my normal like Docker's belt that I have.
He just has like a Tim the Toolman Taylor belt instead.
Another thing that I don't think we've talked about that I think we were going to bring up was, how did Ra's just come back to life and be fine again?
Yeah, I don't think they really explain it. Like he keeps, in the last time he said like, you know, if you go in here as an okay person, then you come out insane and or you don't, it doesn't work or something. I don't remember, but
that seems like it's just kind of fading away, because that wasn't like he aged when the hentai lady was giving him the suck.
Oh no, I'm talking about the previous Ra's al Ghul episode.
When the hentai lady was giving him a suck.
The last time when he was explaining the Lazarus pits, and he's like, if you're like go in there as a hurt person, you come out healed, but if you go in there as a not hurt person, then you like something bad happens.
But I'm saying, like, did his aging thing go away? Because like we didn't see him have to Lazarus pit himself this whole time.
Yeah,
and
I don't know.
He's like riding through the desert on a horse with no name, and he also the whole being old thing, and then like the slightly off like position cell fades him back to young again.
The lady sucked him to old man, and then he was lying there old man, and then he just went into normal. But he wasn't normal. He was still slightly old. Like he still had his gray like temple lines and his like face lines that indicate age and stuff. Like he's back to the base model sheet with you like last time.
I mean, I think that just goes to show you how quick his recovery is after he finishes.
I am ready to go again. Round 2, Thoth Capera.
Yowza. Well, this was an episode.
It sure was an episode. I think we're going to go to the future now for mail. We're not going to actually record the mail segment with you, Joe. We're just going to edit it in later.
Sounds
Do you want to
good.
sing us like a song from Back to the Future to go to the future?
Oh, no.
It's the power of Joe.
That is not what the theme song sounds like at all.
Yeah, what do you got to say, sir, Brian, sir?
Ga, 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 ga.
That's what I was just saying. Me, James.
That yacht had one small extra yacht put it over.
We drop
What we drop?
our weekly yachts
Oh yeah, those.
into the comment box. First, there sure was a lot.
Now Jamie's mad.
Too bad we're all
I am.
just still in Paula.
You know, I suppose we've had years of dog barking. We might as well have some baby noises. Can you beatbox over top of that?
I think you can do the podcast with Aaron this time. We're not.
Oh.
We're doing the mail section like this, okay?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'll play translator.
Okay.
So what Aaron was trying to say just now is that this is the mail section. If you want to leave us a what do I say? If you want to reach out to us like the fire hand, I'm wrangling a baby. Fire hand at the end of the cat in the claw part 2. You can send us an email at batwagonpod@gmail.com. That's the full email address.
Make sure
Oh
you
my
get that
goodness.
good in that email address as well.
Yeah. Holy crap, dude. You gonna talk the whole time? He's like, yeah, this is a podcast. What did you expect me to do? Well, this email is from Super Theories. That's an interesting email. Hey, guys. Hey, James and Brian and James's baby. I finally got around to emailing you guys. Cool second grade story, James. I bet if I wrote that, there would be like 1,000 spelling mistakes in there.
I can't focus on what you're saying, dude.
I can't focus on what I'm saying either. I think you need to go play in the living room. You got it. Oh, God.
Jamie's abusing his child with a microphone.
Yeah. Oh, the microphone tickles me. Okay, hang on a sec. God damn it.
It's just you and me now. James and the baby have run off into the sunset. I'm not sure if they're ever going to return, but, you know, we had a good run. We watched some cartoons. We had some discussions. We watched Dude, Where's My Car once, but that was a mistake. You know, this is as good a time as any to wrap it up. So, thanks for listening. I think we're going to take another break until May 2024. That sounds good to me. I guess I'll just leave this recording and I'll just come back in like a year and a half or whatever, and there'll probably be some interesting things that you guys hear over the course of that. Like, you know, my place isn't that big, so it'll pick up a lot of the different sounds going on in the world. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and drink my tea.
Okay, let's try this email again.
Yeah.
James and Brian. Yeah, you can. Okay, you be the baby this time.
Yeah.
Okay, I like the end of I thought at the end of the story, the policeman would ask you who you are, and you would say, "I'm Tiger Man." I put the mask on. I might as well have been. I liked Sideshow. I'm also rewatching all the DCAU in my controversial chronological order. I can't wait for you to get to Superman the Animated Series. Bye-bye. It included a request for an episode to be on as a guest listener, but we're kind of kibosh? Is that a word?
Yeah.
Kiboshing that. So we'll see. David Horvitz. You Vitz. Indiana Batman, The Mummy Returns. Talk about a mediocre episode of predictability. No wonder I forgot about this one. Bruce Wayne's tax deduction gets robbed, and it's up to Batman to get it back. And who could it be? Ra's al Ghul back from the dead for I don't know how many times. Pretty sure it's his only real gimmick, but before Batman can recover this precious and ancient artifact, pocket snake attack. Good thing Batman... We made the pocket snake joke, too. Good thing Batman had his Egyptian cobra antivenom on hand, because various types of snakes take only one type of antivenom.
Yeah.
Now that Ra's has gotten away, it's time to meet up with Talia in a classic Indiana Jones travel montage for a one-stop flight. The two embrace over their feelings for each other and go after dear old dad in Cairo, finding Raish's hideout using an ultrasound imager that just beeps. For what? Finding an open cavity behind a wall? Clearly Bruce knows nothing about how medical machines work, let alone a stud finder, because they need to be on the surface to detect anything. Upon their capture, it becomes a device I would be more willing to believe, a high-frequency sound emitter that shatters their glass enclosure, where Bruce tells Talia he will do whatever it takes to stop Raish, and Talia is saying, I will do what I must as well. Greatest detective, whatever could she mean by that? They find they're saying that a lot lately.
Can we let's do the synopsis?
The world's greatest detective. They find the tomb, go in, and Raish finds what is pretty much a Lazarus pit with Thoth, the beautiful goddess herself, standing in it, offering to show him the secret to immortality. Only, plot twist, she isn't this beautiful being, but Pharaoh Eddie from Iron Maiden. And the truth of life and immortality is just soul-sucking. Talia and Batman run in to save Raish, but are attacked by what look to be the polyps that Ursula turns her victims into in the Little Mermaid. Okay. Little scrunchy weed guys. I think raising the skeletons all over the tomb would have made more sense for the narrative of joining the Legion. Either way, that would have been cool. Either way, they all escape and Batman saves their lives by pushing what I believe to be a 50-foot stone statue into the pit, just like Indiana Jones, and collapses the temple.
Was that in Indiana Jones?
I don't know. I need to watch those again. I haven't seen them in quite a while. Raish tells Talia he is... I guess this is the synopsis, the Vitsiopsis. Raish tells Talia he's sorry for abandoning her, and plot twist, she lets him go, leaving Batman in the desert, who, by the way, rather than follow after the group since they were originally going back to a city of some kind, decided to go in a completely different direction. The more I write this, the more I honestly just dislike this episode. It's so mediocre and predictable. However, upon writing this, fun fact, snake bite kits do come in yellow capsules, like on Batman's belt.
Ooh.
They just have suction cups and antiseptic wipes till you get a proper hospital for the right type of antivenom.
Thanks, Vitz.
Pedro Enrique, first audio message, thoughts on Avatar. Hey, James and Brian, hope you're doing well. As I said last week, here's an audio message instead of a wall of text. Here are my thoughts on Avatar, the episode of BTAS, not the blockbuster film or brilliant animated show. I hope my accent isn't too strong on this. It's tough recording this stuff. I don't know how you guys do it for hours. Till next time, stay yoppy. We don't know how we do it either.
Yeah.
Hello, guys. Pedro here, sending some of my thoughts on today's episode, Avatar, or as I like to call it, Raz Sims for Immortality. It was a very fun episode. I didn't think it was very bad, but I also didn't think it was very good. It did pretty much everything right, everything was okay. Didn't think it really advanced much, any analysis on Raz or Talia, but I did like it. Felt like it was a lot more exposition rather than just straight up more showing us about this queen. It just feels very random. I mean, I'm so used to just being in Gotham and being around these villains that are more psychological, and then suddenly you're here with all this sort of like impossible stuff happening. But anyways, I thought it was an okay episode. Not too good, not too bad. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It is really tough to do all this in 60 seconds. Good luck to y'all and stay yappy.
Thank you. You too. Yeah, you're right. It was a pretty just whatever episode. I do remember it as a kid being cooler than it is. It just kind of happened.
Well, this is another one of those circumstances where we say that it's just, it's whatever. It's a whatever episode. It's a kind of middle of the road. It's hard to like really make any, I don't know, good content out of it. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, not top 10 or bottom 10. I think it was when we had Dylan on for Christmas with the Joker, we just cited like, there should just be like a medium 10, like whatever 10. Does this go on the whatever 10?
The whatever 10. I like that.
This is from Dino Face Individual, Avatar, Hench Reviews. This comment submitted by Uwu Ubu.
Oh my God.
Do I have to read this in an Uwu voice or an Ubu voice, I guess?
Yes.
I don't know. Yes. If you're out of a job, I don't know how to combine those.
Whoa, buddy.
What do I do?
You gotta slow down there. That's too much for me to handle.
Yeah, there's too many tracks of mine. If you're out of a job and you want something fun and exciting in your life, go work for Ra's al Ghul. Seriously, when I was fired from my previous job, Pirates of Penzance, Ra's really boosted my ego by hiring a poor buff theater kid. Now I get to scream infidel at people who slightly annoy me. No Karen has messed with me since. I even went to Egypt on a business trip. It was like my own personal Indiana Jones adventure, complete with weird tombs and guys dressing like bats in the middle of the desert. Ra's is great. I'll give him 5 out of 5. When he came out of a spooky tomb as an older man, all I got told about what happened was he got sucked so hard he got drained of his life force. Yeah, there's no real better explanation than that. God. Okay, this is from KM. Finally, pronunciation reveal.
Oh my God.
Hi, Jim Jam and Brother Bear. My voicemail is really short and just about pronunciation, so I'll send a middle-sized email with it. That's correct. Avatar is kind of an okay episode. Though it might be the weakest Ra's episode. There are a lot of Indiana Jones influences. It's one of the few episodes that deals with supernatural stuff. I just have one major question about it. Does Batman have Cobra Venom cure on his belt all the time? I would say it's a waste of belt space, but his belt seems infinite, and with his rogues gallery, probably someone hurls snakes at him at least once a week. Or does he have magic potion that could cure every poison? And if so, does he share this with hospitals? That kind of thing sounds like it could save a lot of lives.
Yeah, Jamie, when are you going to make that belt video? I need
we got to do it. I'm not sure we even have something you drink and magically saves you from a cobra bite, like in real life. Even that specific thing could save quite a few lives. What do we? Do you know?
No, that's a super good point, because it's like cobra venom is a coagulant on your blood, and so I'd have to assume that any cure that we'd have would be something you'd have to inject. If there was something that you could drink
like he did,
if you could drink a thing and fix cobra, like that's like so super powerful. That should be like known. I also feel like over.
Some of it falls out of his lips or whatever when he's drinking it, so he just drinks some of it.
Yeah, you only need a little dab will do you. You just need a little bit.
Batman just took a dab. That's why he's lying there on the floor like he is drooling. Oh God! Oh, he did a dab. Yeah, I see what you're saying. And then the cobra bite's just gone. Yeah. Finally, here we are at the voicemail. Firstly, I have to mention I can't pronounce R properly. It shouldn't be much different than R in English. You could put my name on Google Translate, turn the language to Turkish, and get the pronunciation too. Here's the thing.
Hi, Jim Jam and Brother Braddock. I am KM.
Yeah.
And I'm here to make you stop calling me KM. My name is pronounced Kerem Mazman.
Kerem Mazman. Let me rewind. Yeah. Let's do this again.
It's pronounced Kerem Mazman.
Okay.
Kerem Mazman. Okay,
so what I think I'm going to do is put that on the soundboard. and then when I have to say their name ever, I just press the button.
Oh my God. I
fixed it. Okay, yeah, I'll do my best. Scarloey 1, Jump on the Mechanic Wagon, Season 2, Episode 3. Go!
Hello, listener, and welcome back to Jump on the Mechanic Wagon. I'm Scarloey 1. In this episode, I will tell you about Season 2, Episode 3 of Earl, the animated series, Mechanitar, The Way of Gasoline.
Mechanitar.
While Earl was driving through the Gotham Badlands, he saw a broken-down car with 2 tall blue people with ponytails standing next to it. Earl rode over and said, "Do you need any help?" Yes, said one of the blue people. After he fixed the car, they drove away, and Earl said to himself, I need to get my eyes checked. I could have sworn those guys were blue.
The Magaziner's back.
Fun fact, James Cameron has said in many interviews that this is his favorite episode of btas, and that it has inspired many of his movies. Anyway, see you next week. Same PP time, same boo-boo channel.
The James Cameron thing reminds me, I'm surprised I didn't talk about this in the actual episode, but we just interviewed one of the Justice League writers. Yeah, James Cameron. One of the Justice League writers. His name is Stan Berkowitz. That'll mean something to you years from now.
Okay.
But he wrote an episode of Batman that we haven't gotten to yet, where there's a sinking ship, is all I'll say. And on the DCAU wiki, someone had wrote in like co-writer James Cameron uncredited. And so we asked him, like, is that true? And he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then I tracked it down recently and saw that, like, through the edits of that wiki page, that it was only added, like, a month ago. And I'm like, oh, funny Titanic joke? Is that what this is? Like, and then I said that to Stan, and he's like, yeah, but it's not very funny. Like, oh, you're right. Just someone thought it was. I don't know. It's really weird and stupid. But
oh my god!
I hope that he's seen that Earl episode though.
I have a friend in Australia who's at least in like 2013 was one of those rogue Wikipedia editors.
Yeah.
That also was like, you know, it'd be like really harmless stuff, but if you're trying to find something factual, which you shouldn't be doing on Wikipedia, it can be problematic. But his big thing was adding like in like random locations that like Patrick Swayze once visited and had the ice cream and said it was good.
I like the idea that there's maybe just a Patrick Swayze like map Wikipedia that just shows you like everywhere he's been. Like, I saw him him at this place one time, and and just keep going from there. I'm trying to find this picture while you were telling me that I think is in this folder, but if it's not, then I'll give up. But there's a screenshot I took on Wikipedia like years and years ago. Okay, so this was on the Wikipedia page for Star Trek. Just the original Star Trek series, like forever ago.
Okay.
And someone had Wikipedia, like edited the Wikipedia page, just very top of the page before anything else. It says, the thing with Star Trek is spooky Spock kills many, many woe-mans, and naked men live to tell the tale. Was that worth me taking 5 minutes to find that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
It's not still there, is it?
No, it was gone within like seconds after I took that screenshot, but it was just happened to be the moment I went to the Star Trek page. It was there, like someone had put that there.
Oh
like,
my God.
Well, I have to save this.
Good job. Good archiving.
Yeah, I'm a historian of Wikipedia. Last emails from Jordan Newman, Avatar.
Jordan
Here
Newman.
We go. Yeah.
Oh shit, we're live. Sorry about that, folks. It's been a slow couple of news days. Other than the museum break-in a couple days ago, I haven't seen Batman in a while, and let's face it, someone breaks into the museum every other day. That's hardly news. Where do you think Batman went?
Yeah, I guess so.
Now over to the music. I really liked that the beginning of this episode was just a silent movie. We got no dialogue, no sound effects, just music. I thought that was really cool. It caught me off guard, but I was pleasantly surprised.
Same.
Also, alongside all the visual Indiana Jones-isms in this movie, episode, there were a lot of musical Indiana Jones-isms, and I appreciated that. Don't love the episode, but I appreciated it.
That seems to be everyone's main takeaway.
Yeah.
A couple cool parts. Otherwise, kind of not very good.
I'm not looking forward to like the comment section where somebody says, "Oh, this is my favorite episode of all time." My favorite
episode, yeah. Who do you think it'll be? Who do you think's favorite episode?
Dylan Pollock.
Yeah. That only losers could think this is their favorite episode.
Whoa.
Right? Let's see. Are there any voice messages? Of course there are. This one is from Dylan Pollock. What do you know? But how'd Batman get back to Gotham? It's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time for the thoughts of the week from Dylan Pollock on Avatar. Or no, not that one. No, not that one either. So, Batman says, I know the face of my most powerful enemy. By what metric? He lives longest, but he's just a guy. Man-Bat and Croc are stronger. Ivy can control plants. Clayface can turn his hands to beans. Oh yeah, and knives too, I guess. What's with the pants that stick out? Brian, you're worldly. Do you know about this? Why is that a thing? Pants that stick out at the hips for some reason. It's weird that for 3 episodes in a row, we're outside of the normal Gotham City atmosphere. Just saying.
Yeah.
I can see how this was nightmare fuel for children for sure when the zombie priestess pharaoh creature comes.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell it's nightmare fuel for Batman because he says, fuck the no-kill rule. You gots to go. So it's time for the question of the week, James's favorite part. What's the best meat to go in a taco? Is it chicken, ground beef, steak, or dare I ask fish? You tell me.
I just had fish tacos the other night, but they were okay. Yeah, Brian, what's your favorite meat?
Carnitas.
I like steak tacos the best probably, but
carnitas the best way to go, unless you're a vegetarian. And then, hot take and all, Chipotle's sofritas are actually really good.
Oh,
yeah.
What is the meat replacement, or you just don't have meat
I think
in
it's
there
just
at
a
all?
soy-based crumble kind of thing.
Chipotle / Qdoba has pretty good burritos.
Yeah, I've only been to Qdoba once.
It's the exact same thing.
That's what everybody says. I don't quite remember it. I think I was even on the East Coast or something when I had it. I might have had it with my sister Shannon. But
I had a really long time argument with John about them not, he was insistent that they were not the same, that Chipotle was better. And I was like, I'm pretty sure it's like a Hardee's Carl's Jr. thing where they're literally the same thing.
I don't know about, I'm assuming Hardee's and Carl's Jr. are the same thing.
Yes. You don't know about Hardee's?
No.
Oh, but you're from New Jersey.
New Jersey?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Hampshire, I'm sorry.
Oh my God. One of those New Brunswick.
New Mexico is where you're from, I think.
Baby.
You're from the other side is what I'm trying to say. You should know about Hardee's. I'm so sorry if I messed it up. Your birthday is March 15th.
Nice.
So at least I know that.
Oh my God, my birthday's in a month.
Yeah, it is exactly a month.
Turning 1,000.
I'm the oldest man. I'm Rachel Ghoul. Scarface Nate, quick thoughts on Sideshow or I Threw a Rock at Him, and Avatar or No, Not the Anime or Blue People.
Hey James, hey Brick.
Hey.
On Killer Clock Go to the Circus. I feel like this would have been better had it been a solo Killer Clock episode. I'm not a huge fan of it, and I feel like as entertaining as the circus folk are, we never get to see them again, so they're just random people that we see. I know they're meant to help flesh up Killer Clock's character and make him more sympathetic, but it doesn't really work, and they never get to flesh him out, so he just looks like a big jerk at the end of it all.
Yeah.
Which is pretty sad, as Killer Clock has a character that's plenty of room for sympathetic moments, but they never do anything with it, so he just looks like a big jerk.
True.
And aesthetically pleasing as the forest chase scene is, it doesn't really help the story any, which Baldwin turn doesn't help the episode, as it just feels like a lot of filler.
Uh-huh.
But hey, at least get to show a Boulder, Batman. Now on to Avatar. We're not talking about the anime. What about the movie? The Blue People movie?
How many times?
No?
Every time.
It's an episode. Okay, not much to say about it. It's not on my watchability list, but it's definitely not with any of the bad ones. It's just a typical Red Ghoul episode. Although I will admit, Batman pushing a figure does look like he's having a bad night at Taco Bell. Who to? Stay happy.
Yeah, you'd think us pee-pee poo-poo guys would have made that joke already, but we somehow didn't.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah, it's a really good question why we didn't.
And we even had Joe with us.
What kind of meat was in the tacos at Taco Bell? Also, I never really answered. My brain just completely stopped. I almost said, I think you said Joe. My brain was like, Joe. Dylan.
Joe.
I never really answered Dylan's question. I don't know about those pants. I honestly, I think they're...
I was like, we answered the taco meat.
I think they're riding pants or something like that. And I feel like I've seen cops on motorcycles wear them or Mounties, but I don't know why the hell.
It reminded me of how I had written down so many possible names for this podcast episode that we had to choose from. I wound up going with Rube Goldberg was from Mars, but there was Throw Some Wine in the Mountain Dew. Not everyone had the big pockets. Big pocket action. Pocket snake. Less seeking, more sucking. Macaroni in a pot. That's a Gef Al Ghul walking on green. How far back do horses' teeth go? High-graded pea canteens. The hentai lady was giving him the suck, and the lady sucked him to old man. There's a lot of good ones to choose from, but I think You chose a good, like, family friendly.
Yeah.
The pants were a big.
The pants
part
were
of
a
the
big influence.
Options. Okay, let's do comments on last episode.
Yeah.
Which was Sideshow or Canyons all the way down. You're like so behind on listening to these yourself that when I tell you the title, you're like, I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah, dude, I know I'm bad at it.
Old King Cole. Hey, brother Broderick and Jamie, it's time to yop like an Egyptian this episode. Avatar is a frighteningly great episode. Okay, maybe we already found this person. The concept of Batman meeting the mummy is great, but throw in the power-hungry immortal madman Ra's al Ghul, and you've got yourself something spectacular. It's always interesting seeing this street-level crime fighter dealing with magic beings and otherworldly antagonists. Have a yappy day, guys. And then he turned himself into a laptop forever. Funniest shit I've ever seen.
Nice throwback.
I guess that is true. Like, I do like seeing Batman doing other things that aren't like going to a different place and fighting a weird thing instead of like, yep, he punched the Joker again. But
I just want these like Ra's al Ghul episodes to be like just something. It's like, put Batman on a like dotted line plane trip to Egypt. They're gonna kind of fight.
It'll be interesting to see what you think of the next one. I won't
Are
say
they at
anything more than-
Disney?
Yeah, they're at Disneyland this time, and they fight.
It like
Ra's al Ghul in the castle.
Yeah, they fight at some pyramid type Egypt.
They fight at the
exhibition.
Pirates of the Caribbean boat ride.
Oh, there you go. That's pretty different.
They fight Johnny Depp. Ian Thompson, I don't know what I was actually doing as an 11-year-old on May 3rd, 1994. Probably dumb kid stuff. But I remember this week of Batman in my memory being incredibly fascinating to me. I was transfixed by the weird, engrossing House and Garden on Monday, and remember seeing the preview for this one, and dark transformations on my mind, puzzled over how Mad Hatter or somebody, I don't know, teamed up with Killer Croc and turned some kid into a seal person and a bunch of other people into strange distortions. Imagine my surprise of a solo Croc episode taking place mostly in the day, mostly outside, featuring Canyon Batman, the origin of the Big Rock, and a humanizing and sympathetic exploration of circus performers and the last temptation of Croc. And then Avatar was Wednesday. It was a hell of a week. Still one of my favorite episodes. I could see how you could think that, like, oh, those people, they must have had some experiments or something. Nope, they're just people.
Yeah, right.
Or freaks, as the thing would say.
Ferks.
Ferks. That's what they're called in this unit. That's canon now. Charles Modesierra, regarding Avatar, the BTAS episode. Pretty fun, but it definitely feels like it doesn't deserve to be between Sideshow and the next episodes. Also, Ubu's idiotness has seemingly been multiplied, and now all he says the whole episode is infidel, and he manages to trip and fall within 3 seconds of running for his life, although I appreciate the mini-character arc he gets. Regarding the new comment policy, I don't understand why Jamie keeps saying one viewer, one mail comment if everyone is Dylan Pollock / the viewer. My best
Fair
guess
point.
is he means each of Dylan's accounts gets to have one thing read. Yeah, that is what I mean. Yeah. Nick Sorensen, Killer Croc. It's over, Bats. I have the high ground. I've got the gun. Batman, you underestimate my usefulness. Killer Croc. I've also got a rock. Hurls a big rock down at it. Kate Tastic, come for the antics, stay for the antics. The DCAU is a bonus. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Scrudge. So prior to this podcast, I'd only ever done one full watch through a B-test. Despite having seen some episodes only once prior, there was generally some level of familiarity for me when rewatching them. However, Avatar was the only episode that I rewatched for the podcast that I just completely did not remember seeing before, to the point that I had to try and check that I had actually watched it before. It turns out I had. This one just really isn't memorable for me. Bruce Wayne goes to Egypt, wears some goofy triangle pants, and tries to murder an ancient zombie with a grenade. I'm kind of with Bruce on this one when he says the plot is like a bad birthday afternoon cereal. Oh, what the fuck? Why did I say birthday? Saturday. Jesus Christ. Though I cannot do this sometimes. The credit where it's due, I really enjoy the small amount of character, the small character moment of Ubu tossing Batman the flask at the end is full of pee. Also, I just realized that this episode Sideshow has Batman and a seal boy. I'm sure there's a kiss from a rose joke in there somewhere.
Oh my God. I didn't think about that at all. Not even 1%. Damn.
And
nice.
Joe had only been awake for 27 hours. Otherwise, he would have made the kiss from a rose joke. Surely.
Joe
Leno
wasn't watching that episode.
Oh, you're right. I've been awake for 28 hours. Lanola Cola, oh, how I miss the Hey Arnold theme being randomly played. With the next episode being called Avatar, I'm surprised it didn't come up in any discussion about how people will confuse James Cameron's film with The Last Airbender, Legend of Korra, or with the btas episode. Oh, it did come up at least 17 times. Hellblazer 85.
Hellblazer? Is that like the vehicle or like a blazer from hell, like the coat?
It's like the character from DC Comics.
Hellblazer?
Well, it's not his name, but it's the name of his comic title. He's Constantine. Have you seen the Keanu Reeves Constantine movie?
Yeah,
that might be your only familiarity with the character. But
remember, Marvel. I did the Marvel comic thing, not the DC thing. Hellblazer.
Well, you've seen movies.
I still want to know though. Is it like I'm a real estate agent? I'm gonna go sell a house. Put on my Hellblazer.
He wears a big coat, so I assume that's what it is. I always really liked this episode. I never knew you guys weren't fans of it, at least initially. I mean, you're talking about Sideshow. I see. In general, I think Killer Croc was a character that definitely could have benefited if they had shown more of his backstory to make him more sympathetic.
Yeah,
I guess he's one of the guys we don't really get that for, so he's just kind of there. Wency209, loving the new intro and outro themes. You two truly are Yoppie dudes. Oh, thank you. The highest of honors. Carly Barrett. Anyone else notice that Kevin Conroy used his Bruce Wayne voice with Lucius, but when he was with Talia as Bruce, he used his Batman voice? Because it's like Batman is who Bruce truly is, so when he's with Talia, he doesn't have to pretend. Genius. Chef's kiss. Also, when I saw Batman's tiny figure trying to push over that giant fucking statue, I literally screamed, Jesus Christ, Batman! That was hilarious. Yeah, he is really small. I don't know that I'm fully on board that like Batman is who Bruce really is, but I do think that is his normal voice, is the Batman voice, and he puts on
I think we talked about this
voice.
in an early episode, but that's really dumb.
What?
Like
the voice change?
He's in a Batman suit, so like he's probably 90% Bruce, 10% Batman at best.
You mean just like as a person, or like when he's
in his life?
Existing?
He's like mostly Bruce. So
why do you think that?
we get to see his exploits as Batman.
Okay, I see. Like we're not focusing on the Bruce stuff or whatever. Yeah.
So my thought is like, why wouldn't you just like have your normal voice as your normal voice, and then when you're in your costume, you put on your costume voice? Like,
it's
rather than
mostly
like
for the audience,
like,
I guess.
Wake up in the morning. All right, I'm Bruce. I have to put on a Bruce voice now. I'm going to maintain this voice all day long. God forbid I slip up at any point in time faking my voice.
I kind of get the feeling that he's not at the office as much as we might think he is. Like, I feel like he's actually probably Batman more than Bruce, and that he's just like, I own this company. I only have to show up every once in a while for like a meeting or something. But I don't know.
Maybe I'm giving it like too. Like maybe I'm thinking into it too much, and it's just like the same level of like anytime any of us makes like a business phone call, and you got to put on your snoozing voice, you know, and like
your customer service.
Yeah,
voice. That's all he's doing. Yeah.
Okay, and it's maybe just more exaggerated because cartoon. I don't know.
Sure. Like I said, I think it gets less and less differentiated over time. And
there's a point at the end of the season where he's just screaming all the time as each character.
Yeah, he's just. Hello, it's me, Bruce. Oh, you sound a lot like Batman, who also just screams like that. No! I don't think so. Okay, Batgirl Fangirl. Avatar. So that's what those little pellet things on Batman's utility belt are for. I wonder where the entrance to Ra's al Ghul's secret hideout is. Could it be behind this ancient sarcophagus in the curio gift shop? Boy, Thoth Capera has some really powerful teeth. Either that or Batman needs to invest into some stronger bat line. Just like the Demon's Quest, I like this one mainly for the Indiana Jonesiness of it all. Great messages, Jordan, Scarloey1, Tip Tapricot, and Dylan. They made me giggle. Keen podcast, James, Brian, and listener. 5 stars and 5 king cobras that it's just 1 king cobras that Race just happened to have up his sleeve. The biggest king cobra you ever saw. I like keen cobra, which reminds me of how there should be a new. He just barely made it in. Keen Machine.
For real?
Since we hadn't heard from Keen Machine for the last couple of weweeks, I sent him a message this morning, like, so you know, Brian and I are recording it this time. And then he said, I'll have it in by then. And it was
I sent him a message the other day. It was like, hey, so just hope you know it's not like this isn't your job or anything.
Yeah.
But like, you doing okay, champ? Like, we haven't heard from you.
That's what I said. I said, just, we miss you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got it. It says, sorry it's so late, but I actually have a message this week. Keep it keen. So here we go.
Hey.
I'm downloading it now. Oh, God.
Greetings, James and Brian and James. There you go. Now you're both first. Happy birthday 2023. Sorry I missed the last few episodes. Been traveling a lot, but I am back. Here I am. I did not actually go anywhere except when I did because I was traveling, but you know what I mean. We've got a lot to cover, so I'll try to go quick. Number 1, House and Garden. Loved it. Great. Fun episode. I enjoy Poison Ivy's character in this. We get to explore more of her motivations and more of her, like, you know, innate desires and what motivates her as a character, and that's really interesting, and it sets up things down the road, which I really enjoy. So, good episode. Then we move on to Sideshow, my least favorite episode. I told you we got there, and we got there. Least favorite, hate it, don't like it. Yes, the art's kind of nice. Only redeeming factor, don't like the story, don't like the plot, don't like the characters. That's okay. I know I'm alone in that, just like I was alone, except for Jordan in See No Evil. It's fine. That's what makes it great, that everyone has different favorites and least favorites. Am I bitter that this made it to Brian's top 10 and The Laughing Fish did not? No, not at all.
Sorry.
Why would you ask that? Anyway, gotta go. Keep it keen.
Thank you.
Oh,
yeah.
good to hear
We
from
just
you.
wanted to make sure you were like good.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do the last couple of comments. Scarlowy says 1. And Mark Aquino, who is actually first, says, Sideshow Bob's origin story. Or maybe that's more of a sigh. I don't know. First order of business. New theme songs? Wowee. Shout out to Cooney, Phoenix, Kimmy, and Brunch for the oh-so-wonderful new themes for the podcast. I added, it won't be in this time because we already recorded it, but I also added whoever did the music to the credits, even though it's not their song, but we use it all the time, so you know. This one had more unintentional laughs than I expected. Sideshow.
Yeah.
The reveal that the dude in the fake mustache on the train was Batman got me. Plus, he stole Superman's thunder 2 years before he made his proper DCAU debut. And here I thought Robin was the dick. Also, I'm probably not going to be the first to point out when Killer Croc almost crushes Batman with that boulder. Say it with me, folks. It was a big rock. I also laughed harder than I should have around the 7-minute and 10-second mark at Croc slipping on that stone and falling into the river. Yeah, we did too. Plus, the reveal of the adorable flippered anime boy threw me for a loop. Decent guest cast for this. Comedy legend Kenneth Mars, Poltergeist star Jo Beth Williams, and Brad Garrett as the strongman. Brad Garrett, of course, would go on to do multiple voice roles in the DCAU, most notably one character in particular that I'm sure you all know, but I won't spoil it for the sake of Brother Bricky Poo.
Thank you.
Some really good animation there as well, but am I the only one getting sick of Dong Yang in the credits? Nobody? Just me? Bueller? Anyway, as per usual, boss biggest bear hugs to the #1 podcast host in this here multiverse of ours, Jim Jury, and Better Business Bureau. Praise to our Lord and Savior, Dylan Pollock. Love your podcast, my dude. Keep up the great work. Go tell Gab that she rules. As well as his loyal disciples, Scarloy, One Batgirl, Fangirl, Scotty, Cameron, Wency, 209, Tip Tapper, Keen Machine, Jordan, Zane, BD, Chris, and I haven't seen BD in a while. Chris Knife, Lanola, Cola, Carly, Juan, Pedro, Ashley, Touch, and Scrudge, Banana Man. Where was Banana Man? Jeff Bridges,
we lost
and of course,
the banana.
I know. All the awesome sauce listeners of this Yoppie community of ours, you are all the best. Never forget that next week's episode is the return of good old Razzle Goop. So here's hoping Joe comes back and keeps that tradition going. He did. Till next week, Smoke Bomb. That's it.
Boom.
Boom. Now we now we do this. Oh, God damn it. It was that. I did that again. It was that button for a while. Now it's this one. Goodbye, Brian.
Goodbye.
And now we're back from the future, and we did the mail, and here we are at the end of the episode. Thanks for listening, everybody, and thank you to Kimmy, Cooney, Phoenix, and of course, Brother Broderick for all of our musical themes. Thank you for being here, Joe, with us for the podcast.
Yes, it'll happen again in the future.
I think the next Racial Ghoul episode is coming soon. Not in the next batch of episodes, but in like the one after that or something like that. Yeah, please subscribe to the Podtower YouTube channel for new DCAU podcasts every week. And please leave us a 5-star rating on whatever the hell you're listening to this on, because it helps and we might read your review on the show. New episodes are released every Friday on the Podtower, as well as your favorite podcast feed, watchtowerdatabase.com. The next episode of the podcast the next episode of Batman the Animated Series we're watching on the podcast is called Trial. How about you both take a guess at what that's about?
Trial.
I'll give you. I'm not going to give you a hint, but
is it a Riddler episode?
He is in it. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not going to give you
one for one, baby. I'm
not
done.
Gonna give you a hint for the plot. Like this won't help you guess the plot, but maybe. But this was the one that when we were watching Mask of the Phantasm, I said like, oh, there were some other ideas thrown out for a BTAS movie. One of which we'll watch 4 podcast episodes from now.
Oh,
it's this one. So I don't know if that helps gauge your like. What's it gonna be? But
though I will not be a part of it, I'll wager a guess, and you'll have to let me know. This is when the Riddler and Batman have jury duty together.
And unfortunately, the Riddler knew the guy that stole from the mini mart, so he could not be on the jury anymore. What do you think the trial's about, Brian? What do you think? Trial.
It's gonna be about puns, baby.
I will tell you, it's not just a Riddler episode.
Oh God, it's Almost Got Him Part 2.
Kind of, I suppose.
Ooh,
a little bit in terms of multi-villain. Yeah.
Batman has to like trials of different villains.
Okay, he has to perform trials for everybody.
Yeah, he's like the high
you're
jump.
guilty and you're guilty. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, run the gambit. You must leap over this twig, Batman. Yeah.
Created this obstacle course for you.
Yeah, we put tires on the ground you have to jump between.
Inside, you'll find a room covered in Legos. Walk across barefoot if you dare.
Oh, God.
That would actually be pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah. You seen the barefoot bowling soccer?
Oh, my God, yeah.
And they played a game on Legos, kicking a bowling ball barefoot.
Yep.
That's brutal.
I mean, kicking a bowling ball with shoes on isn't going to be much better.
No.
Fair.
Batman certainly wouldn't be able to kick a bowling ball. His boot is made of wool. He doesn't even have insoles in there. He's just running around in footy pajamas.
You see, my strength comes from the warmth of my feet and the wicking of moisture.
The strength of my heart.
Unfortunately, I have to get naked to poop.
Yeah. Talia, cover your eyes and pray.
Unlock my trapdoor.
All right, see you next week, everybody, for Trial, but not Joe.
Thanks
Bye.
for listening, everyone.
Bye.
Oh, that was a hint that Ra's al Ghul's not in the episode. Bye.
My apologies to you, daughter. Though I had abandoned you in my heart, obviously you had not done the same.
What will you do now?
Take them back to the authorities. Your father has much to answer for.
I am truly sorry, beloved, but he is my father. Please, dismount.
Another time, detective.
Yes. Another time.